When the soldier man's armor fell, the alien woman's anger gave way to tears. The battlefield was silent, but only for a moment. Ash drifted like snow through the shattered air of Reldan Ridge, coating the bodies of soldiers, both human and alien, with a grim finality. Smoke curled upward from the smoking wrecks of gunships. The war had reached another of its countless breaking points. And at the center of it all stood Commander Varen of the Zren Ascendancy, blade in hand, eyes locked on the lone remaining human soldier before her. He was tall, battle-worn, encased in bulky silver armor scarred by plasma fire. His helmet was cracked, but still on. His weapon was gone, his stance wide and defensive. "You've lost," Varen hissed, stepping over rubble. Her violet skin was streaked with blood, her own and others. Her eyes glowed bright and furious beneath her battle crest. "You killed my brother. I will have your heart." The human didn't answer, just stood still, chest rising and falling heavily. Her rage boiled hotter. "Say something," she snarled. "Are you proud of what you've done? Of all the blood you spilled?" Finally, the man reached up and slowly removed his helmet. Varen staggered back a step. He was young, too young. His face was smeared with sweat and ash, his eyes a soft, storm gray that didn't match the reputation of the ruthless human military. He didn't look triumphant. He looked broken. "I didn't mean to kill him," the soldier said softly. "It was a trap. I tried to stop it." Varen's breath caught. "Liar." "I'm not," he whispered. "We were told there were weapons in that outpost. We didn't know civilians were sheltering there. We didn't know about your brother." She stared at him, her grip tightening on her blade. "You expect me to believe that?" "No," he said, voice trembling. "I expect you to kill me." And then he did something that stopped her cold. He took off the rest of his armor. Piece by piece, the plates fell to the ground. The breastplate clanged loudly, echoing off the ruins. The gauntlets dropped like lead. His shoulders slumped under the weight he had carried. Not just of metal, but of guilt. He stood in only his undersuit now, light fabric torn and bloodstained, revealing the human beneath the machine. Unprotected, unarmed, vulnerable. Varen didn't move. "I fought because I had to," he said, "because I was told it was the only way to survive. But now, I don't know anymore." "You think shedding armor redeems you?" she asked, though her voice wavered. "No," he said, "but maybe it shows you I'm not hiding." There was silence between them, thick and heavy. Then, to Varen's horror, her rage fractured. Her knees gave out, and she dropped to the rubble. Her blade slipped from her fingers. Tears welled in her glowing eyes. "I should kill you," she whispered. "I want to. I came here to—" Her voice cracked. The human sat down across from her, not too close, but close enough that she could see his trembling hands. "What's your name?" she asked suddenly. "Derek," he said. "Derek Halden." She looked at him for a long time. "You're not what I expected." "Neither are you," he said softly. They sat in silence, surrounded by the ghosts of war. The Alliance's retrieval team arrived the next day. Derek reported in, expecting to be reprimanded, or worse, for abandoning the objective. Instead, he was treated like a survivor. Another statistic. Varen was taken into custody by the humans as a combatant, but Derek insisted she not be sent to the detention camps. She surrendered, he lied. In truth, she hadn't. She had just stopped. He visited her every day. She never spoke much, but she looked at him differently each time. On the 6th day, she said, "You are not weak, yet you choose mercy." "It's not a choice," he said. "It's survival. You humans speak of survival with such complexity, and you don't. We fight, we win, or we die. There is no in between." Derek smiled, tired but sincere. Maybe it's time for something different. Weeks passed. The war dragged on outside, but inside the detainment quarters, something subtle was changing. Varen healed, physically first, then slowly inside. Her fury dimmed, leaving space for questions, doubts, curiosity. Derek brought her books, recordings of human music, and stories of Earth, things she'd never heard before. In return, she told him about the Zren ascendancy, the fire songs of her people, the memory rites of her ancestors. They learned each other not through language, but through attention. Then came the hearing. A tribunal of officers would determine her fate. Derek stood up and spoke before them. She could have killed me, he said. She didn't. She had every reason to hate me, and she chose not to. You admit to unauthorized contact with an enemy combatant. One officer said sternly. Yes, Derek said, and I'd do it again. There was silence in the room. Then the decision came. Varen was to be released into Derek's custody as part of a cultural liaison program, experimental, controversial, and rare. When he told her, she stared at him. You're risking your rank, your reputation. I don't care, he said. And in that moment, she did something he never expected. She reached out and gently touched his face. Then you are a braver warrior than I. They lived on the outer colonies, far from the front lines, away from the noise of generals and death counts. They worked side by side, studying, rebuilding, talking. One night, as the stars shimmered over the reconstructed observatory dome, Varen stood beside him in silence. You humans show yourselves in pieces, she said. Armor first, then words, then pain. We're afraid, he admitted. We're taught to hide what hurts. She turned to him. You showed me your hurt. That day, when her armor fell, he looked at her, heart full. And you didn't kill me. No, she said quietly. I wept instead. For you, for me, for what we've lost. They stood close, the space between them no longer filled with war, but with understanding. Then she took his hand, and together they watched a comet blaze across the sky, not as enemies, not as soldier and captive, but as two survivors learning how to live again.